My mother left me the house when she passed, not a mansion. A small craftsman on a quiet street with a porch that sagged on one side and hydrangeas she planted 20 years ago still blooming every June. She died slowly, so we had time to talk about it. It's yours, she said. Not his. Not ever his. She meant my father. They divorced when I was 11. He paid no child support for the last 6 years of my childhood. I never asked why she put that in writing. She just did. The house became my life. I replaced the water heater myself. I learned to patch drywall. I painted the kitchen a color she would have hated, pale green, and kept her bedroom exactly as it was, down to the quilt folded at the foot of the bed. For 5 years, it was the only place I felt safe. He called me on a Tuesday. My brother has just booked a month in Thailand. Flights, resorts, scuba certification. We need to talk about the house, my father said. Not hello, not how are you. I sold it. Closing was yesterday. The money will go to pay off your brother's vacation. I laughed, not because it was funny, because I had spent 32 years waiting for him to surprise me, and he never did. The laugh came out small and dry, like a single cough. He kept talking about equity, about family, about how I didn't really need the house because I wasn't married and didn't have kids. I stopped listening. I watched the hydrangeas through the kitchen window. They needed watering. Okay, I said. Then I hung up. For a week, I did nothing. I went to work. I fed the cat. I slept in my mother's bed because my own mattress was old and I hadn't gotten around to replacing it. I did not cry. I did not call him back. I did not tell anyone except my lawyer, whose number I had saved for 3 years after my mother's estate settled. Her name is Diane. She is 62, wears clogs to court, and has never lost a case involving real property. I emailed her. He sold the house. He didn't own it. She replied in 11 minutes. Call me tomorrow at 9 a.m. At 9:03 a.m. she asked one question. Did your mother's will name you as sole beneficiary of the real property? Yes. Was your father listed as a joint owner or life tenant at any point? No. Did he ever live there after the divorce? No. Okay, she said. Let me make a call. That call happened on a Thursday. I don't know exactly what she said. I only know the aftermath. My father's first voicemail came at 2:17 p.m. His voice was loud, almost cheerful. Listen, there's been a misunderstanding with some paperwork. I'm sure we can work this out. Second voicemail, 4:02 p.m. Queeter. You can't just sick a lawyer on me. I'm your father. Third, 7:48 p.m. Barely audible. The money's already spent, half of it. The deposits were non-refundable. I saved all three. I did not respond. The legal reality was simple. He had sold a house he did not own. The buyer had done a title search, but my father had forged a signature on a quitclaim deed. Diane filed the motion the next morning. The sale was voided. The buyer was furious. Not at me, at him. My father had to return the full purchase price out of pocket. He had already given my brother $42,000 for the trip. My brother had already spent most of it. Plane tickets, luxury hotels, a private island excursion. My brother did not call me. My father called 17 times over the next 2 days. The messages shifted from anger to bargaining to something I had never heard from him before. Confusion. Not remorse. Not apology. Just the genuine bewilderment of a man who had always taken and never been stopped, suddenly stopped. On the 6th day, Diane sent me a one-sentence email. Funds recovered. House is yours. Lock changed recommended. I did not celebrate. I changed the locks. I watered the hydrangeas. I sat on the porch in the dark and listened to the street and felt nothing large or cinematic. Just a small, quiet thing. The knowledge that I had not broken. I had simply called the one person whose job it was to make the law do what it said it would do. My father has not spoken to me since. My brother posted photos from Thailand for 3 weeks, then went silent on my feed. The house still stands. The porch still sags. The quilt is still folded. 6 months later, I met a kid at work, a 17-year-old intern named Marcus, whose mother had just lost custody and whose father was absent. He needed a place to stay for 6 months before he aged out of the system. I had a spare bedroom that used to be my mother's sewing room. I told him the house was safe. I told him he could stay as long as he needed. I did not tell him the story. Maybe someday I will. The house did not become a symbol. It became a room for a boy who needed one. That is what my mother meant when she said it was mine, not ownership, stewardship. I think she would have liked Marcus. I know she would have liked the pale green kitchen.